Okay, back here for game 5, and this hand is, again, not looking great because this card doesn't look good, but once we cast this, it should get a lot better. So I'm going to keep.
I'm mulligan to 6. This hand is fine. It's great.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. I don't actually think we want a second copy of this. I do want to cast this on turn 1, just to try to make our hand a little bit more fluid, and despite this card being so important, I don't think we want it right now.
You can go.
That is interesting. I think we can afford to still play an Insight on 1 because we'd like to find a Jace. I think maybe I do want to discard this instead of this. Like if we discard this and we hit Jace, then I want to be able to play that into this. So I think we'll discard this. It's also more important that we have 2 red sources and 2 blue sources. So.
What does he have? I don't know. He just said this and that.
Your turn.
He could have anything.
It's true.
So
Word my graveyard correctly because I'm crazy and that matters to me.
Yeah, the point of life doesn't matter at all, so I might as well just
I dealt
save this.
2 damage to you last game.
I'll go to 19.
That stuff adds up.
You can go.
Well, I'm really smart and I hit my Jace, so we're going to play that. Your turn.
Attack for 2.
Yep.
18. I'll go to 18 and play Shaman and drain you for 2.
Yep, 16.
16. You can go.
Not blocking, and also if I were to hit a Madness card, I would play it. So I think it is more important to activate this right now rather than do this. Could be wrong, but that is my first inclination. Discard. I think backup Jace is not going to be particularly good this game. We'll play Tutelage and pass the turn.
Okay, that was good. I will attack for 5.
11.
You can go.
Okay, trigger Tutelage.
Twin Winds Elite, Quagmire.
Okay, I'm going to play Magmatic Insight, discarding a Shivan Reef. 2 triggers.
Double up. And 2 lands. And the second trigger.
Yep. Alright, so I want to play this turn and probably try to set this up if possible, and we're going to go ahead and take our block on the Shaman of the Pack this turn. We're at 11 life. So if Ross has Collected Company, we're in quite a bit of trouble, I think. Actually, I probably want to try to cast this card, and then between these 2 and this 3rd card, try to hit a Madness card to interact. So I think that's going to be really important right now. So I want to discard this Fumarole. So I'm going to Magmatic Insight, discard Fumarole, draw 2 cards, 2 triggers.
2 black cards. Second trigger.
And I'll play this Mountain and pass the turn.
And step, I'll go to a 17 and play Company.
Yep.
Just want to put as much pressure as possible, so I will choose those 2, get the Elf, and then trigger Shaman.
Okay, I'm going to put a trigger on the stack, and I will Impulse a Shaman. So I'll take 4.
4, yeah.
Go to 7.
Draw.
And I'll block the Shaman, activate trigger.
Yep.
We are not going to have time for Chandra, so we'll discard that.
You go to 2.
Yep. And trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, you already discarded. I'll just Eerie interlude these 2. Take a point.
So then my end step, I'll die.
On my end step. I'm doing it on my second main phase. Beginning of the next end step.
Oh, okay. Yep, I'm dead.
Yeah. Singing about Just the Wind, but you couldn't cast it. So.
Right. All right, back here for the conclusion of Blue-Red Tutelage Madness against Abzan Elves. I think my deck did a little bit better job of showcasing some of the new cards, even though you did get to kill me finally with Eerie. Gosh, I stink.
Eerie Interlude was
Eerie Interlude. Thank you.
I mean, it was important in both games I won.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
in game one,
yeah.
I just created a much bigger board that set up the last shaman to kill you.
Sure. Yeah,
So,
that's true. I
yeah.
forgot about that. All right, I stand corrected. Eerie Interlude was powerful for you.
It did sit in my hand when my draw was bad, but I needed it, I think, to win both games that I did win. So it was just a matter of having the right supporting pieces around it. Maybe the deck is one elf short. If we get a nice zombie elf in Innistrad. I don't think there were elves in the last Innistrad, but
No, I don't think so.
If it gets one more, or maybe some other sweet creature with an enters the battlefield ability, because it seems like it has enough elves to support a lot of the engine around it. I was looking for Shaman of the Pack every single game,
Right.
and every game that I drew a Shaman, I think I won all, but I think I drew Shaman in 3 of the games, and I won 2 out of those 3. So Shaman of the Pack was also pretty important towards winning.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
Displacer looked a little weak in your deck. I mean, maybe it's just the nature of the matchup where I have like ways to kill it and ways to bounce it, and it's like kind of hard for you to cast, but I think, and like the fact that you have to like add a bunch of colorless sources to your deck's a little awkward. I guess you'd be incentivized to play Caves of Coilers regardless, but
Yeah, I don't. The mana was actually a little better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't draw a lot of the creature lands, and having a tournament creature land I think would have been nice in a couple games.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I was most surprised by actually was how fast your clock was.
that's everyone has said that since the beginning of time when it comes to this deck.
Yeah, I thought you were going to have a clock that was slow enough that you would need to interact 3 or 4 times, and that would give me time to use Displacer and Eerie Interlude more often. And in reality, I needed to kill you by turn 6.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Chandra was kind of slow for this matchup. I don't know whether that's just... I mean, your deck is fairly fast. It's a collected company deck with Shaman of the Pack as like a burnout strategy, so that deck has quite a bit of reach, especially in conjunction with Eerie Interlude. I'm pretty sure Chandra should be good in the matchup. Maybe it's just like the way the game's played out, but certainly a 6-drop is a little slow, and sometimes you're incentivized to discard her or some extra lands in the tutelage deck.
Yeah, I thought Chandra is I think Chandra's a great addition to the deck overall. It does just having a card that can win the game by itself when your tutelage plan doesn't come together is something the deck didn't have before. And there are going to be games where they think they have 2 turns and you just play a Chandra and kill them immediately with the 0 ability.
Right.
You put 1,000,000 trillion triggers on the stack and then mill them for 700 million. It doesn't even matter if they're a Battle of Wits deck; they're dead. Game's over.
I think that might be a little hyperbolic, but yes, I mostly agree, except for the 279 billion part.
I did the math. Don't worry.
Yeah, that Ross.
I'm a number
Ross always
scientist.
does the math. Yes, he has a math degree. It's true. Jace Friends Prodigy plus Madness cards is messed up.
Yeah, Fire Temper might see a lot of play.
I agree. Yeah, just I mean, it's not even necessarily the fact that you're up a card, even though that is relevant. I mean, it's nice to be able to keep as many resources in your hand as possible, but just the fact that you really don't lose any tempo at all, and you get to like play these essentially undercosted cards. Like it's always a kick to Fiery Impulse. Just the Wind it's just an unsummon. That's more of a I don't know if that card's actually good, to be honest, but
I mean, it's unsummon, draw a card.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that it's just tempo or it's just card advantage. It's the combo of the two. Normally,
Right.
you do not get those two things at the same time. And when you
Right.
do get those two things at the same time, bad things happen for everyone else.
Sure. I'm not actually sure. I think this deck, the tutelage deck, is pretty good at like leveraging that combination because you just need time, and a critical mass of resources is nice because you have all these like pitch velocity spells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think to traditionally utilize that kind of card, you would need like a tempo deck, and it's not clear whether like you want to be actively, like obviously Jace is super powerful or whatever, but you need more outlets than just Jace to support a bunch of Madness cards.
Yeah.
So it's not clear whether you would actually be able to build a deck that was like appropriately aggressive plus able to utilize Madness.
Well, they've printed some aggressive cards that function as discard outlets. There's Ravenous Bloodsucker, which functions a lot like Aquamoeba. There is the colorless black 2/1 that you can discard a card to flip into a 3/2 flyer.
Delver Vampire.
Yeah, there is the rare 4-mana 4/4 that you can pay 1, discard a card, and it flips into 0/1 hexproof, can't block, unblockable. And then you can flip it back for 3 mana when it
Right.
attacks. So that I think they're trying to make some sort of aggressive madness deck again and harken back to the days of Blue-Green Madness. There's actually a card spoiled today. I don't know if you've seen it.
Probably not.
But it is a red for a 2/1 vampire warrior that gives all your other vampires madness for their mana cost. In all the ones in your hand and outside the game.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's certainly interesting. So yeah, I guess they're trying to push like a red-blue.
Yeah. Shock on the aggro mana stack next week.
Sure, no problem.
I'm definitely going to build that because it seems cool.
Yeah.
The 3-mana 4/3 haste is a lot like Arrogant Worm. Just going Ravenous Bloodsucker into that guy's 7 damage on turn 3. And
it's 8, right? Isn't it?
3/1 and 4/3.
Is it a 1/3 that gets +2, -2?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So it's basically Aquamoeba.
Yeah. Well, you can't discard a bunch of cards at once, but if you pump it, it gets even better. If you put some enchantment on it, I don't know.
Yeah, that could be interesting for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think Jace Friends Prodigy is going to keep being awesome. I mean, I'm excited about it.
Well, I have a set of Jaces, so I'm excited about it too, I guess.
Okay.
Playing with Jace in the Blue Prowess deck was fun. Getting my first taste of Jace, and I'm sure I'll get several more tastes as it stays in standard for another 6 months. But
wouldn't surprise me if you could kind of take Storm Chaser Mage and move that into like a Madness Shell, and it's just like a nice 2-drop. That's usually like the issue with these like aggro control decks is you need like very high impact aggressive cards and a lot of support as well. So maybe like Jace, the Reckless Bloodsucker, the Madness Vampire, the 4/3, or that is haste, and then Storm Chaser Mage, that can make a nice little package, and then you can complement it with like Fiery Impulse, Lightning Axe, Just the Wind, things along those lines.
Yeah, that's basically the idea.
Yeah, so that could be sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think the cards we got to play from Shadows of Innistrad were sweet, and as spoiler season develops, there's going to be, as Ross alluded to at the beginning, there's going to be more focused archetypes using the Shadows of Innistrad mechanics and cards.
Yeah.
But right now, we're kind of just trying to integrate the cards that have been spoiled into existing archetypes and seeing if they improve them. And I mean, I think so far, certainly Madness is great in the tutelage deck, and
we figured out Madness is good with Jace. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, we're
You're
real smart.
welcome.
Yeah. There you go.
But I'm definitely very excited to start building decks that are more focused around the Innistrad mechanics because a lot of these cards seem really sweet. I'm hoping they print more aggressive zombies, so Relentless Dead can be a thing. We can build that deck, but I'm pretty excited for that. On a also exciting but slightly different note, we do have an Open this weekend, which feels like the first time in like 3 years that an Open has happened.
You mean like 2 weeks?
Yeah, they're the same amount of time.
Sure.
But we do, if you want to see
the swan song.
Yeah, the swan song of this standard format, which doesn't include Swan Song, right? That card rotated a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't play Swan Song this weekend. But we do have an Open in Indianapolis.
Yep.
Great city.
Home of great food.
Yeah. I'm now that I live here, the mystique around Steak and Shake has somewhat diminished. But I used to always enjoy getting milkshakes when I went to Indianapolis.
I know Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan are all about Steak and Shake, but I'm kind of over it. It used to be really exciting for me when I was a younger lad, but I'm not into it anymore.
I still love milkshakes, so I will certainly get a milkshake. But
milkshakes are pretty delicious.
There's still a lot of good stuff in Indy. St. Elmo's Steakhouse. Get some shrimp cocktail, lobster mac and cheese.
Should we talk about the fact that it's the last tournament of Oath of the Gatewatch, or you just want to talk about food?
Can we do both?
Well, you've already covered one of those things. So.
Okay, so we should probably cover the other one.
Okay. Are you going?
I want to go. We haven't really discussed plans yet.
Shocking.
Typical Magic
last
players,
minute.
I'm sure we'll end up there.
Yeah, probably.
It's been a sweet standard format. I'd like to see it out.
I might. I guess I'm probably interested in playing Rally the Ancestors for the last time. I'm not sure. What about you?
I'll probably play Nissa because that card's sweet. Maybe I'll just run back Hardened Skills, that type of swamp.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just play Elves. Nobody knows.
I mean, you could just play that deck in the new format. Why don't you play something that's on its way out?
True. Okay, you've sold me.
I've convinced him. Maybe he'll play a good deck.
No promises.
Yeah, I don't really have much respect for Hardened Scales, so I'll just throw that out there.
Were you watching Grand Prix Houston?
Yeah.
You were there, I think.
I wasn't.
No, you weren't there. Well, clearly I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Ross is just doing his thing. But yeah, join us in Indy this weekend for action, either playing in the tournament for the last Oath of the Gatewatch standard tournament, or join us on SG Live, and Matthias Hunt and Ryan Overturf will be commentating there.
I'm probably more excited from another round of Matthias and Ryan Overturf. I think.
So you've decided to stay home so you can watch them instead?
No, well, I'll just ogle them from a distance at the venue.
What does that even mean?
Sort of leer at them expectantly.
Are you going expectantly? Expectantly of what?
Who knows? Who knows what's going on inside of this head?
Ross, why have you just gone off the deep end the last couple weeks in a row?
I don't know.
He's just been good. He's done a good job of hiding it up to this point. Maybe that's it.
You got to let the people in a little bit.
I gotta close these videos out before you just let people know your true nature. It's just nonsense.
You have to protect me. Well, is it protect me from them or them from me, or both? Both. Okay. Well, we have Indianapolis this weekend.
Yep.
Ryan Overturf and Matthias Hunt are great.
They are. Either say hello to them if they're... Well, don't do it if they're actually commentating. That would be kind of awkward. But when they're on break, say hello to them. They're friendly guys. Yeah. Or watch them on SG Live. If you're checking us out on YouTube... Say
hello to them in the is there a chat?
I'm trying to close out the video here, Ross.
Well, I'm trying to derail you, and I'm doing a pretty good job of it. So maybe some kudos would be nice. Just saying.
Would you like to close us out then?
No, you can.
Good Lord. All right. If you're checking us on YouTube, please like, comment, share below. Tell us whether you think Ross is a crazy person or not. That's not really an argument at this point. But
it's more about how crazy.
Yep. Regardless, join us in person or on the internet for SGG Tour Stop in Indy with Matthias Hunt and Ryan Overturf. And you guys have a great day.